Hey, Robert Jackson here. Day 3 at Florida State University's EBV program. The last 2 days I haven't got into anything about myself, so I figured tonight I would try to cover a little bit of my story and let you know what got me here today. Uh, Finished school in 1999, graduated from Lincoln High School out of Des Moines, Iowa. Didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I was in home improvement, working with my brother, my cousin, subcontracting work, trying to make a living that way. I was living with a gentleman that I went to high school with that went into the military police out of Camp Dodge, Iowa as a National Guardsman. I was out with some friends one night and one of them said, "You cannot physically handle basic training." I was a little guy. I was 122 pounds, 5 foot, nothing. And so I lit a fuel underneath me thinking, if you don't think I can handle it, maybe that's what I could do. Went to a recruiter, talked to a recruiter. A few months later, shipped off to basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia. Went through basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia. Went on to AIT to go through supply specialist school, small arms repair as the unit armor when I got back to my unit with the MPs. And kind of realized, wow, they're going out in the field, they're a combat MP unit, they're having a lot of fun. I'm stuck here in the arms vault, which wasn't a bad thing. I was in charge of the largest arms vault in the state of Iowa, which was pretty neat at 18 years old, being able to be in charge of all the guns, the weapons. So it was pretty exciting. At that time, I just was able to do what I did and realized after training with them for a few years and seeing how much they were going out in the field and loving it, and I was again stuck with, no offense to my sergeant because I had a lot of fun with him, but I was stuck with one person in an office. I did have a lot of fun with him and learned a lot from him. So great sergeant, great leadership. But I still yearned for something more. I wanted more because I was working with everybody coming in to get their weapons. I was talking to them and interacting with them, and I was getting to know them, build a rapport with them, but I wasn't out playing in the dirt with them. So we got the alert order in January of 2003 saying we were going to deploy somewhere. We never knew where we were going, never knew what it meant for us being guardsmen. Some of us figured 179 days they'll release us off active duty because at 180 days they have to pay you benefits. Pretty ignorant to think that. Our trucks started getting painted desert camo when we got the alert order. After getting the unit ready for a few months, we got the alert order to deploy to Iraq, saying, "This is your mission, this is where you're going." I came across it on a desk and seen my name wasn't on it. Talked to my first sergeant, found out why my name wasn't on it. Continued talking to him saying, "Hey, I don't know why, but this is greater than me and I want to be a part of it." Not to say that I was more patriotic than anybody, I just had a feeling come over me that this was my unit, this was my military family. I needed to go with them. I talked to my wife about it. She said, "You're crazy, but I understand." Fully supported me. Went on to Kuwait in April of 2003. Got to Kuwait, then from Kuwait had to get into Iraq, so I went advance party for my unit. I joke around, I actually did a paper on it. I went to Iraq in style. I rode into Iraq in a Mercedes-Benz from Kuwait. That was a 20-ton bright orange dump truck Mercedes-Benz, but it was a Mercedes-Benz. Hey, we joked around about jumping out, painting a target on it, saying "shoot here," but we made it on through into Iraq. We set up the EPW camp there. Was our mission, running convoy security as well a little bit. So we were working 16-hour days, 4 hours on perimeter and 4 hours down. Long days, very long days. And they cut down to a 12-hour schedule with 4 hours on perimeter guard. And when you're working that many hours, there's not much to do. So we joked around, what are you going to do? You're in the middle of a war zone. It's not like you have a day off. So when we had an opportunity to take some downtime, we decided to go shopping. Downtown Baghdad Commercial District, great idea. Go shopping, buy some stuff, spruce up the camp, bring up morale. Come out of a shop from buying my oldest daughter a Barbie. Got loaded up in the Humvee, proceeded forward 6 feet, woke up 6 weeks later. My vocal cords 100% paralyzed, my legs amputated below the knee, my arm and hand 3rd degree full thickness burn, my face and head 2nd degree, small of my back 3rd degree full thickness burn. I had no idea what happened. I had a lot of good dreams. The nurses were drinking beer and watching football in my room. But I had no idea what happened. Come to find out, I ran over a landmine, was in an ambush, was stuck in a burning vehicle for a while until they were able to pull me out. The ambush was pretty significant. It was covered on CNN, Fox, MSNBC, all the major media outlets. So unfortunately my story got a little bigger than it should have probably. But I was married with 2 young daughters when I deployed. So when I was going through my therapy, the media was attaching to me, which helped me not only share my story through a translator at first through my wife, but not only gave me a chance to share my story and get off my chest to release some of that anger and release some of that pain, so I didn't have the PTSD build up as much as it could have. But it gave me a chance to say, hey, we're injured, we're disabled, we're coming back with a new outlook on life. And so I got talking to other service members. I teamed up with another one, started visiting other service members in the hospital. Within a few months after my injury, I was able to go skiing in Colorado. A few months after that, I was back home in Des Moines, Iowa. What to do now? I'm not getting on a roof again. I'm a double amputee. I have no want to, none whatsoever. And so I started looking for a job. I found a job, got into the nonprofit area for the last 8 years, helping wounded service members, building programs for nonprofits, saying this is what we need, these are our needs, these are the gaps that need filled within the VA. I had a lot of great opportunities for that, a lot of good traveling, but travel wears on you. No matter how passionate I am about helping my brothers and sisters, it gets tiring. So I got into public speaking for myself as well, doing my own little thing, and I realized now I want to get back on that roof, not literally speaking, but figuratively saying I want to get back into construction. So the EBV programs provided me with the knowledge and the tools and the networking to be able to get back into construction. I've been going to school for a few years, and I feel that I'm ready. I'm ready to take on a new mission, and EBV's providing that mission, not providing me the mission, but for providing me more knowledge to make less risk. And that's the biggest thing and the scariest thing for us now. What are we going to do? What are we going to do with our lives? We're facing new disabilities. How am I going to deal with the day-to-day aspect of getting back into work, being an amputee? If I have a bad day, what happens? Who runs my business? So being able to network with other small business owners, entrepreneurs, and of course the great professors here through Dr. Blast, Dr. Dever, and all the other professors and teachers that are teaching us the information that we need and showing us the avenues to take. So again, believe you can, and keep up the good fight.